Yo, guys, what's going on? I am your host, Skillz. Welcome to another episode of the Spark Something podcast. And I want you guys to do me a favor while we go on this journey. I need you guys to make room. We're going to make some room for growth, for grace, and a real conversation. Now, let's get into this episode. Yo, guys, what's going on? It's your girl Skills. Welcome to another episode of the Spark Something podcast. Now, this episode, I'm hoping that you guys are encouraged. Thank you for coming back, lending me your ears one more again. Let's get into this episode because I got a story to tell y'all, and I'm hoping that it encourages you guys. So, last episode or a couple episodes back, I remember talking to you guys and telling you guys that I had started going to the gym. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This progress is very slow. It's slow because I'm not trying to do all of the fads, and I'm gonna do this, and this tea is gonna help me with this, and this weight loss pill is gonna help me with this, and this and that, and no shade to anybody that's on whatever journey you're on to get healthy, to lose weight, but I genuinely want to just let you guys know that if you are choosing to go on a journey to get healthy for your health, to feel better about yourself, to look better, it's going to take some time. And the world would rush you and make you believe that you don't have time, but you do. You have whatever time God has given you. And in that time frame, I don't care if you live from the age, into, I don't care if you live up into the age of 102. You have time. The time that God has blessed you with is the time that you can use. The world will make you feel like, yo, you got to rush to get into everything. Everything has to come fast. It has to come fast all the time. And a lot of the times when things come too quickly, we're not prepared. We're not the people that we need to be in order to receive a lot of the things. So when we get them, we don't know how to keep them because we don't have what it takes to hold on to it. We don't have the our attitude isn't right. Our posture isn't correctly. We feel like this is something that's owed to us. It's long overdue because we said we wanted it. It's my whatever and I want it right now and I should be able to get it because I said I wanted it. I should be able to get it because this is where my mind is at. But when it comes to like really growing in a space, then it's going to take some time. So I've tried working out and losing weight multiple times. And I'm going to be honest with you, it wasn't always for the right reasons. And my mindset was, all right, I know if I'm going to see some changes in like 30 days. Mind you, today years old. I am 35. Now, I could see some changes in 30 days, but it's not going to be the drastic changes in 30 days if I'm really doing this for real, for real. So I realized before I got on this journey, you know what? I'll take you back. I'll tell you about the story that that I got an assessment and I had a conversation with a physical trainer and he gave me the real raw uncut and I did not like it at all. So this was about a year and a half ago. I remember deciding to get back into the gym. I had no idea what I was doing when I was going, but we had just moved into our new place and I decided to, get back into the gym. So I'm like, all right, let's try it. Let's go ahead, let's do it. So I was just showing up. I was showing up. I wasn't in the best headspace mentally, emotionally. I just felt really bad. Like I felt really low about myself and where I was and where I was going, and I had no clue, no idea. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna just go to the gym, whatever. Started going, and I remember the guys that were there, they were African American. So I think one of them was Jamaican, the other guy was African American, but they were both black. And one of them was a physical trainer, the other guy was like a supervisor, and they stopped me. So I'm just walking in the gym. Mind you, I'm going to the gym alone, not really going with anybody. I don't really want to go with anybody at the time that I'm going. I'm kind of just trying to get my life together, myself together. So I'm going. This guy's there, and he pulls me aside. He's like, "Yo, when's the last time you had an assessment?" I was like, "It's been a while, but I'm kind of just in here." He's like, "It ain't gonna take that long. Come on, come on, come on." All right. At the time, it was a while ago. I didn't know how to say no to a lot of stuff. So I was one of those people that got talked into doing a lot of like salesy stuff and, saying yes to a lot of things just to kind of get it over with. And I was like, all right, whatever. So I went ahead and I signed up for the assessment. All right, cool. Signed up for the assessment and then I never came back to the gym. I never came back to the gym because my idea at the time was I don't want to really be around people. I kind of just want to figure some stuff out within myself, not knowing that this was a this was a God thing right here. I needed this without knowing that I needed it. Something I didn't ask for, and God was like, "Let me redirect you. Let me give you the real. Let me give you the honest, uncut truth, and then we'll see what's what." All right, cool. So I avoided going to the gym for at least about a good 2 weeks. I just stopped cold turkey, which wasn't hard because I had just started going back, and I'm I'm continuing to just like not answer the phone. All right, this looks like the gym's phone number. I'm not gonna answer it, whatever. So eventually they called, and I was like, man, I really want to go because it was something that I had just started back doing. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go. So I eventually showed up. I said, okay, I'm gonna go Saturday. Eventually showed up on a Saturday. I get there and I meet with the guy and we go through this like so the assessment is an hour. We go through like 35, 40 minutes of training and then he kind of like sits and he tries to, give me the information and, the good news, bad news, and then he gives me the price. What can I afford? Yada yada yada. My mindset wasn't to go in there and try to pay for anything. My mindset really was just to get in there to just like blow off some steam, guys. I didn't really care too much about all the other stuff. I might have needed a personal trainer, but at the time I was like, I can afford one, and I don't really want to do. I don't want that. I kind of just want to get in here just to kind of figure out some stuff within myself because I'm not in here working out to try to, of course I want to look good. That's a byproduct. It's going to happen. But right now, I kind of just need to blow off some steam. So he was talking to me and telling me, and then he hit me with one of these lines. He was like, you know what? Um, this is this, you are overweight for your height, yada, yada, yada. Um, and I told him I wasn't interested in anything like that. He kind of was a little frustrated about it because he gave me the whole sales pitch, but I told him I wasn't interested from the beginning. So he was trying to convince me to sign up for it, and I was like, nah, I don't really want to do that. But he did hit me with one thing. If I didn't get anything from this interaction, I heard him loud and clear. He was like, what gets me is that there are a lot of, and I never told him I was a Christian, mind you. And he's like, it's a lot of like Christians who, they say they believe, but they don't take care of their health. And I was like, oh, you're a Christian? And he was like, yeah, I believe in God. I was like, okay, that's not what I asked, but all right. But he was like, yeah, I believe in God. Cool, cool. That can mean a lot of things in this day and time, guys. I'm just saying. But he's like, yeah, I believe in God and everything, but I just, it just bothers me because there's a lot of Christians who don't take care of themselves. A lot of them are overweight, and their health is declining. So I was like, man, that stuck with me. Mind you, this interaction was a year and a half ago. So as of recently, I started back going to the gym this year, 2026. Now, it wasn't that I stopped going to the gym after that interaction. It was I needed a bigger why. I needed a larger why. I needed the understanding that my why had to be greater than it had to be great enough for it to continue to catapult me and push me forward when it came to like my hard days or when it came to like days I wanted to quit or days I didn't want to go. I didn't feel like going. I'm too tired. I'm this, I'm that. It had to push me forward. So I was like, before I really commit to this, because I committed to it after I kind of came to my wits end about just trying to be everything for everybody, and I kind of just like gave up. I was like, you know what, I think the best thing for me to do right now is to just not really care about how I look to other people and really get myself together. So I know if I can really just start getting myself together, people are going to have issues. They're going to say whatever, they're going to do whatever, they're going to feel however they feel. But I was so concerned with just trying to show up in places and spaces to make sure that people knew, like, oh, she's a good person because I was there or whatever. Case in point, guys, that never works. Be yourself. I'm going to be honest with you. Be you. Be who you are, and as you grow, continue to become exactly who God calls you to be. Don't be anybody else. Don't try to, fit in places and spaces to get people to see you. Just be yourself. That's the best way I can put it, because people are going to love you for you, they're going to hate you for you. So, but if you're you, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You're comfortable with who you are. You're comfortable with who God called you to be. So I got tired and I said, you know what? Bump that. I'm going to do this for myself. And I had to ask this question. How long do I want to live? I was like, man, I never really thought about that. And I'll be honest with you, when my mother passed away, I never really thought about how long God would give me to actually still be able to see days. Like I was ready to call it quits. But I realized like he just kept waking me up. He kept waking me up and kept waking me up, and I was like, all right. I hit 35, and something in me like rattled a bit, and it was like, okay, so how long are we going to stay in this space? Um, because now we're in our mid 30s, and it I don't know how long God is going to give us, but I just believe that there's something that He needs us to do. So we have to get up from this. We have to rise, and we have to go, because we can't keep missing the mark. So I got up and I asked myself, I said, well, how long do I want to live? Because this is going to determine how that response in itself is going to determine how I live my life for however the duration of the rest of my life. And it's also going to determine the decisions I make that are going to change the trajectory of my life. So I have to genuinely like sit with myself and look and say, you know what? I've held on to a lot of things for a very long time. I never knew how to let go of them, but I need to release them so that I can make room for whatever God is doing right now. Because I'm no longer in these places and spaces. I'm actually right here, right now. So Lord, I don't know how to do this or what to do, but I need your help. So I just started getting up. Guys, I started getting up and I started going to the gym. I didn't know. It was one of those times where I was just like, you know what? I don't know what tomorrow is going to look like. I don't know what the rest of the day is going to look like, but I'm going to make it a point to just show up in that space for myself. Everything else, I can't attest to everything else, but I have to have one thing that's apparent, that's a foundation in my day, in my 24 hours, outside of sleeping, working, you know, being a wife, being things for people, outside of being a sister or being an aunt or being a niece, being a daughter, being a wife, being a friend, being a this, outside of my roles and relationships with the people that I have in my life. When all of those people are gone and I'm by myself, am I okay with me? And I had to really sit with myself, because I had gotten to a point where everybody else was gone. They were living their lives, and I got to a point where I was alone for a little while. I mean, Anthony was working and I was home. I'm still working, but I wasn't around a bunch of people all the time. So now that I'm here, and it's just me, right? It's just me. I'm alone. When I look in the mirror, what do I see? when I look in the mirror, who do I see? Am I happy with her? Am I content with where I am? And if the answer is no, then there are some decisions that I have to make. If the answer is no, there's some things that I have to do. There's some shifts that have to happen. I have to talk to God. I have to, communicate with myself. I have to really like look within and begin to search and say, Lord, okay, what am I going to do? Or what have I done with the time that you gave me? So it was like a midlife crisis in a way. I don't know what a midlife crisis is. I'm gonna be honest with you. It sounds like what a midlife crisis would be to a person that may be having one, because I didn't have a midlife crisis, guys. I'm not gonna speak that over myself. That's kind of crazy. But it sounds like what it would look like. And I remember in the Bible where the prodigal son, it says in the Bible, and he came to himself. Then he realized who his father was. So then he went home. And his father was a king. And when his father saw him at a far off distance, he ran to him and put a robe on him and said, "Grab the fattest calf and we're gonna have a feast." They threw a party for him. This was the prodigal son. Go read your Bibles, guys. This was the prodigal son that he got of age and he was like, Dad, give me what's mine. Like, give me my money, give me my stuff so I can go. And he left and he blew everything, guys. He blew it. He lived a careless life and he blew his inheritance. And then he ended up in a pig's pen eating the slop that the pigs eat, baby, and that was crazy. But he ended up in a bad spot, bro. And then the Bible says he came to himself. He's like, "Yo, even the servants at my dad's house eat better than this." He came to himself and he went home. So it was like one of those moments where I came to myself and I said, "Yo, not I can't do this anymore. If I am connected to the Father, my life should look like I'm connected to the Father. If I know who the Lord is, if He's my Savior, if I'm claiming Him, then I should look like Him. When people see me, they should see Him. We gotta be twinning them. You feel me? So I started talking to God, and I sat for a while, like just in silence. I didn't have anybody else's opinion at the time because I think that was the thing that was like really pushing certain and swaying certain decisions. Was I was always asking for, well, what you think about this? What you think about that? And other people's thoughts, they were great, but this would be something that they would do, or this would be their limitation that they had. This wouldn't be something that God had called me to do. They're like, well, I would do it like this because that's how they think about themselves. So this is how they would do it. But what did God say? So I'm saying all that. Trust me, guys, I'm going somewhere with this. I'm saying all of that because I had to have that moment with myself, with God. I had to have that moment of alone time, which I was afraid of. And I was afraid of it for so long because I hadn't been by myself since my mom passed away. So I was afraid of those moments because I was afraid of what would come up and I was afraid of who I would become and if I would still love myself, if people would still love me, if God would still be here for, like, I was afraid of who she was. And I had to like really come to myself. And I came to God and I said, "Hey, I don't know what's going on, but I've hit a wall and I don't know how to get around this. And I don't know if this was the wall that I had been avoiding for so long, but we here now. And I'm scared and I'm tired. I'm tired of running. I'm tired of feeling like I don't know. I'm tired of, I'm tired. I've come to like the end of an era. I feel like I came to the end of an era, and there's something on the other side of this door. But this ain't no regular sized door. Like, this door is from the ground to the ceiling. There's something on the other side of this very, very, very big door, and I feel like it's so much more than what I have right here. But I don't have the strength in myself to get over that. So I need your help. And I had to really start to I said, you know what? I know that you have called us to be stewards. In fact, good stewards. And I said, Lord, I don't have much money. At the time I was, if you listen to some of the older podcasts a couple months ago, I was looking for a job. I was searching. I was still working, but I was looking for a job that would pay me more money. But I'm like, I'm struggling. At the time I was struggling financially, and I said, Lord, I don't have the finances that I would like to have. And I don't think it's about money. But I said, I can steward what I have. But I said, the only thing I have right now is me. So help me to steward me. If I can't fix anything else, help me to steward myself. And I started going to the gym. I started showing up at the gym. And when I first started going, whew, I'm getting a little emotional, guys. Because this is like the first time I'm really having this conversation. But when give me a second, sorry. When I first started going to the gym, I started to pray, and I said, Lord, just meet me here. Just meet me here. And when I tell you, I had moments to where I would be, working on legs, I would be lifting, or, I would be doing curls or whatever. I'm somewhere in the corner by myself, and when I tell you I'm listening to my worship music, or I'm listening to my CHH, and there are times where I feel the spirit of the Lord while I'm in the gym, and I break down. When I first started going to the gym, I started going to the sauna, and I would go in the sauna and I would just break down, and I would cry after I got off the treadmill, and I would talk to God, and I would tell God how I was feeling, or I would tell God what was going on, because He already knew, but I would be honest with God, and I would just let Him know, like, hey, this is what's going on, this is how I'm feeling right now, and it's not good. And I kept showing up. I kept showing up, and I kept showing up, and I said, Lord, you're building something in me. I'm uncomfortable. I'm not used to this, but you're here. I'm here. Because you're here, I'm here. And if you're here, I'm gonna keep coming, because I don't got nobody else. I don't, and it's not that I didn't have anybody else, but at the time, like I said, I had came to the end of myself. I came to the end of an era of myself, of where I needed to be, because I know that there's something else on the other side. So I was like, I'm at the end of something, and I don't want to go backwards, because I know if I go backwards, I'm gonna end up in the loop all over again, and I can't do that, because you're not allowing me to do that. In fact, you want me to leave some stuff behind to go forward. So I need you in this season of my life, because it's new territory, and it's unknown territory to me. And in the unknown seasons, it gets a little rocky, but we have to genuinely like trust God in every season, but definitely in those seasons where we don't know what's next, where we didn't plan for what's next, where we have no clue, and we're just looking for God, because he's there, and He told us, and He's holding my hand, and I'm like, okay, I'm following you. That's what faith looks like a lot of the times. We don't know. We just follow Him, because He said, this is, I am the way. I am the way, the truth, and the light. And okay, I need a way, so I'm gonna go. I need truth, because people be lying. I was about to say something else, but be lying. I need light, because it's dark all around me. Yeah, I need you desperately, not knowing that there's a light inside of me, because I'm connected to Him. I don't even see it, because hey, I haven't stewarded it myself. I haven't stewarded the body that God has given me. So Lord, I'm gonna follow you. And as I follow you, you'll begin to reveal things to me. And it's a beautiful thing, guys. It really, really is. It really, really is a beautiful thing. So as I'm going to the gym, and I'm telling you guys this, I'm telling you, and I'm telling you my story. Now, God can meet you anywhere. Trust me, and He will meet you anywhere. But you have to seek Him. You seek Him, you'll find Him. If you seek him with your whole heart, I guarantee you he will reveal himself to you. Trust me. But all I said all of that to say, after I start going to the gym constantly, my husband starts coming with me. So now we're coming and we're going together and we're worrying about our eating and well, if I'm going to the gym and I'm doing all this hard work, now what do I eat? I said, God help me to steward me. Help me to steward what you've given me, which is my temple. Help me. I need to live. I need to be able to um what was the quote that I said? I said I wanted to dang, I can't remember it right now. The quote that I kept saying is I think I said I want to live in a body the Holy Spirit can use, or I want to be able to I want my body to be a body that the Holy Spirit can dwell in. So I need to be able to take care of it. I gotta remember the quote. Once I remember the quote, I'll probably put it in the show notes, guys. Because right now it's escaping me because I gotta get to my point of all of this. But I'm getting you guys into it. So I'm going through all of this and I'm talking to God and he's growing something in me and he's moving and he's working some stuff out as I'm going through this process. And it's uncomfortable because I don't want to be at the gym all the time. I don't go every day, but it's a place where God is like, I'm there. If you meet me, I'm there. And I'm not saying like I'm specifically going here and God is only here. But what I'm saying is I prayed, he answered, we're here. If this can be a foundation, it's a foundation. It's a foundation because it's building something in me. It's building discipline, guys. It's building consistency, guys. It's building trust, guys. It's building honor, guys, because I'm honoring my temple. I'm honoring the word and the vow that I made to God. And he's honoring it back by just showing up and coming to me, man. He's showing me peace in a place where I'm able to like release. That's wild. I'm meeting people. I don't know everybody. I got right now, if I'll be honest with you, I'm getting the head nods and the peace, the peace sign. I'm getting the waves. What's up? From across the gym. Yo, what's going on? I'm getting that now. So I'm like, okay, this is actually like a collective of people that I see almost every time I show up. And it's a beautiful thing. So as I'm going, lo and behold, guys, because I gotta like really get y'all to this point. Lo and behold, mind you, I told you I met this personal trainer a year and a half ago. He doesn't work at the gym anymore. The same I've been going to the same gym. So he doesn't work there anymore. And I'm like, dang, bro, that's crazy. Cause now it's a whole group of new people. So the old people are gone. I guess they've scattered them, and they've gone somewhere else or they work somewhere else. They work in a different location. I don't know their business. But I saw this gentleman, guys, maybe a month ago. I saw him at the end. We're in July. I saw him at the middle of June last month. So I see him. He doesn't see me. But I'm there on a day without Anthony. I actually meet a girl there. Big shout out to Desiree. I saw her last night when me and Anthony went to the gym. But I meet her. Where she's going through a circuit with me. I don't even know this girl, but I'm having one of my days. I'm having one of those days where I'm feeling vulnerable, but I'm like, Lord, you're here. And as I'm having a moment, God sends somebody to be like, you're not by yourself, and she works out with me. That was a blessing, guys. So she works out with me. That was also the day that I see the personal trainer that I saw a year and a half ago. They gave me these Christians, and I honestly I understood where he was coming from because it's true. We don't always take care of our temple. You feel me? We don't always take care of our temple. And a lot of us have health complications and we have things that we're going through and suffering from, and we suffer in silence because we want people to think that because we love the Lord and we got it all together and our health is good. We need to start taking care of ourselves, guys. We genuinely need to really start taking care of ourselves so that we can have a body that the Holy Spirit can dwell in, and we can actually live in our bodies as well. I know that, all of this stuff is going to pass away, but while we're here on this earth, I don't want to feel like I'm dying while I'm alive. You feel me? Like, I don't want to feel like death is knocking at the door because I'm neglecting myself. I'm neglecting my health. And I'm not saying that I'm gonna be like a bodybuilder or a pro wrestler or anything like that, but I'm saying, yo, get up and move, bro. Just walk. If you walk, trust me, you'll feel a difference. Get up and just get out there, get active, bro. But I see this gentleman and I stop him and I was like, yo, how you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm good. I said, I don't know if you remember me. He's like, yeah, I remember you. I remember you. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. I said, I don't know if you remember the conversation that you had with me. And he was like, yeah, I remember. I said, but that conversation was a conversation that I needed because it woke something up in me. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I met him. I had that conversation with that gentleman a year and a half ago, but I never forgot the conversation. That's why I was still trying to still make the attempt to show up, even though I wasn't doing all the things. I hadn't found my why yet. I hadn't found the thing that actually made me want to continue to show up, made me want to be present. I hadn't found the thing that would make me stop in my tracks and say, you know what? I need to do better. I hadn't found that yet. I hadn't found the thing that said, you know what? If nobody shows up and walks this thing out with me, I still got to go ahead. I hadn't found that thing that said, if everybody gives up on me while I'm on this journey, I still got to go ahead because it's not about anybody else. It's about me. It's not about anything else. It's about the conversation that I had with God. I had to remember that I spoke to God about this. I had to remember that I prayed for him to show up. I had to remember that I said, Lord, if you're there, I want to be there. And I had to remember that this is between me and God. This had nothing to do with anybody else. If anybody else comes, that's beautiful. And I want to remind you, if anybody else comes on the journey, it's a perk. But, but don't get so consumed with whether or not people come or people don't come to the point where it makes you stop. Because this is what you wanted. So my why had to be so much greater. But I told him, I said, hey, that conversation changed my life, man. Now I'm not where I want to be, but I'm telling you that as I'm slowly growing and maturing and doing all of these things, that God is still working in me, and I could say, hey, I'm on a journey to doing better. I'm on a journey to living this thing out. I'm on a journey, guys. We on a journey. We on a journey to more of seeking God in areas and spaces and places, and just saying, hey, I ain't got all of that, but I got this. And where I'm at, I know God will meet me where I'm at. So Lord, I need to take care of myself because I started to think like, okay, I, I'm getting older. My health is going to slowly start to decline if I don't do something. Because I come from a family to where there's a lot of this was the saying, I want to live in a body that God can use. I want to live in a body that God can use. That was the saying. And that's going to be the title of this podcast episode. I want to live in a body that God can use. So, what I was saying before that, I have a lot of people, or I had a lot of people that were in my family that had health complications. They had cancer, some of them were HIV positive, diabetes, high blood pressure, heart attacks, strokes, just different things. And it was all because their health was declining, and they didn't do anything about it until it was too late. Or they didn't do anything about it because when they found out the information, they were just like, well, what can I do? And some of them were Christians. So I take that with me on this journey, and I say, hey, whether God takes me tomorrow or he takes me in 80 to 90 years, baby, I'm not about to go down just to, I can't go out like that. I don't want to feel like I'm dying while I'm living. It's that deep to me. So if anybody wants to jump on this journey, the goal, and I said this a couple months ago, I'm doing 10K. I had stopped doing the 10K a couple months ago, but we back on it. We like a week and a half in of doing 10K. So right now, today that I'm recording this episode is Wednesday, July 15th. We got about three and a half, no, got about 4.5K, 4,500 steps to go. Probably a little bit more than that, but 4,500, I think, because I'm recording this from my phone. But we got to get that done before 12 a.m. before July 16th, which is tomorrow. So we going when I'm done with it, I'm gonna put the time in, and I'm gonna let y'all know when I finish it. The last episode we had already hit our 10K, so we own it. So if you just want to go out and walk, bro, just go outside. You ain't gotta do nothing crazy. You don't have to start out doing jumping jacks. You don't got to start out trying to run the 5K, trying to run, just get out and take a walk. Take a 30-minute walk. Move your body. Come back and do it again tomorrow. And come back and do it again tomorrow. It builds a habit. It builds a habit to where now you have a foundation. You just putting a brick. You building a house. And as you build your house, every time you go out and you get moving, you put another brick. You put another brick. You put another brick. And that's all it is, bro. That's all it is. So I wanted to give you guys this episode because I told you that I would give you an episode talking about my journey, fitness and health and all of this other stuff. Now, mind you, I haven't stepped on the scale, but I'm in my mindset right now is to just build a habit. And that's all I'm doing is just building a habit. And as the habit continues to build, then things will change, things will start being different. But I wanted to encourage you guys, and I want to say thank you guys for listening to this episode. If it resonated with you, like, comment, subscribe, send it to somebody. Just so if you feel like somebody needs a spark, and you might have been somebody that's like, yo, I've been trying to get this person to like get on the bandwagon, and they ain't really moving. You can send them this. You can send them this and tell them, yo, she got some stuff on here I think you need to hear. But yeah, to God be the glory. I love each and every one of you guys. Thank you guys so much for checking out this episode of the podcast. I appreciate you guys. We on the road to episode 100. Right now I think that we still in the 40s, almost the 50s now, but we on the road to episode 100, and we gonna keep going. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. God bless each and every one of y'all. Your girl Skillz is out.